I serve you some hot business nuggets so you can get the tools, skills, and strategies to grow your business. But remember that growing your business is only when you take action. Guys, remember my name is Mary Ephraim Egbas, and I am the CEO of Okma Consult, a consulting and marketing company. I help vision-led entrepreneurs, maybe like yourself, to 100x their business. And how do we do it? By laying a very important foundation. And what is that foundation? Through strategic planning, implementation, through creating your success blueprint, name it. We help you to get organized for growth. All right. Now, listen, I have helped several businesses grow their businesses, top brands to design their success through strategic positioning and planning. All right, welcome. And if this is your first time of watching this session or this coming on a session, oh, I would really love on you. Can you let us know where you're coming in from, where you're watching us from? I'm so excited that you're here. I don't take it for granted. And guess what? Even if you're coming on after the live session has gone off, please hashtag replay. I want to know that you are here. All right. So we had posted today, we have an amazing session, and we had posted earlier on about this session, which is personal branding. I'm sure you've heard a lot about personal branding. But I also asked a question, and the question I asked was, have you ever Googled yourself? All right. And I have, and it was not very pleasant actually when I did so. It was so unimpressive because number one, it has so little information about what we do, what my business does, what my brand does, what I can help with, what I could serve. And even the very little information that was available was horrible. Horrible pictures, bad lighting in the pictures, bad makeup. You could just imagine. It was such a low representation of what we were achieving, and we were achieving a lot. All right. Now, well, you might ask, how is that even important? Well, if the first and maybe only way that you get to meet me or get to know about our services, about Okma Consult, about our marketing services, about any of our services is through Google, then Google was not doing me justice, or it was not going to be impressive at all. Now imagine that you are meeting a friend, or rather you're meeting a very good prospect, and that prospect is being introduced to you by a friend. And this is what the introduction might sound like. And the person says, hello, meet my friend. And my friend is really lousy and she never keeps the time. Oh my goodness, you know what that would create. Well, first, your prospective clients or your prospect will certainly be unimpressed. And next, you probably have lost that relationship already because you would be so upset. Now, that is what Google has been doing for lots of us. It has been introducing us as lousy, unreliable, unprofessional, name it. And well, it's not Google's fault. So unfortunately, you can't even fight Google or social media or any other online platform that people tend to find you on, because it only relies on what you feed it. All right. And garbage in, garbage out. So whatever you feed it or don't feed it, we will know that today, you are still feeding it something. All right. So people rely, prospects today really rely on Google and online world to introduce you to them. And they need this information to make very important decisions about how they might proceed with their relationship with you, whether it's a business relationship or what have you. So, guys, today it's amazing. It's personal branding. I'm not going to take too much of your time. I'm going to try to rush it. So if I'm talking really fast today, just forgive me. But I just want to get the story out there. I just want to get you to understand personal branding and why this is so important. At least, even from the introduction I've already given and what I just said about Google, that should already get you tingling and wondering, what can I do to change my personal brand? So, guys, let's go. So, even if you're an introvert, really, or even conventional, please stay on because I am one of those, but I am now realigned. I am a realigned introvert because I then understood that my brand was at a disadvantage if I did nothing to it, to it, right? If I didn't embrace personal branding. All right, so personal branding for me is really an amazing strategy for creating connections and trust in your business. Remember, I talked about giving you strategies to help you grow your business. And for me, this is one massive strategy for growing your business. That's exactly why I decided to create this master plan and super effective guide to cut through the noise and help you easily the main concept of branding and share more valuable insights that will reveal the true impact that branding yourself effectively can have on your business and career. As a professional, why this is absolutely important and how can you easily achieve this. So first, let's start with the basics, right? And why is this important? As a useful strategy for growing your business and client base. All right. Okay, let's keep moving. All right. Because whether you are aware of it or not, your brand is already out there. All right. Your brand is already out there. Like I said, Google is constantly introducing you to people based on the little or no information that you give to find something. All right. And it could really be one ugly picture. But let's keep moving. Now, how can we leverage on personal branding? How we are perceived, our clients, business partners, managers, and others largely, they largely use their skills and standout qualities when you have personal branding. All right. How we are perceived by our clients, business partners, managers, and others is largely based on our standout qualities, all right, and skills that make us unique, as well as our credibility and our reputation. But how you leverage this to create a solid presence, whether it's offline or online, is what makes the difference in a world saturated with logos and brands. All right. So, building a brand is your opportunity to make your business personable and memorable, showing your clients why they should stick with you over anyone else. Just like Jeff Bezos has said, your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. Okay. All right. So like I said, Google is already talking about you whether you're in the room or not. And other people are talking about you whether you're in the room or not, whether you give them the information or not. They're making their own observations. They are also creating their own image of you if you don't intentionally create the image that you want people. And this is not about being inauthentic or not being authentic. You should create an authentic image, but a good representation about yourself. So what is personal branding? So Personal branding is a conscious and intentional effort to create and influence public perception of an individual by positioning them as an authority in their industry, elevating their credibility and differentiation, or rather differentiating themselves from the competition to ultimately advance their career, increase their circle of influence, and have larger impacts. This you can find it online. It's simply by Wikipedia. All right. Now let's look and dive a little deep into how this all started, or when it became a thing. All right. August 31st, 1997, there was an article by Tom Peters, which simply titled the brand called You. The brand, that was the title of the presentation. All right. It appeared in a Fast Company magazine. It sparked a movement that would lead to a new way of defining personal achievements, a movement that would forever change what we think about ourselves in the context of our relationship to our jobs, industries, co-workers, and even the world at large. So whether Peters was intended it or not, the idea that we as individuals are every bit as much as a brand like Coca-Cola, Starbucks, American Express, Visa was born. All right. And this continued and unfolded and even expanded all over the world today. And that's why we're here. But today, if you search personal brand, you will be rewarded with millions of books and articles, blog posts, consultants, trainers, workshops, and more. Just like we are talking about it now, you will find this all over the internet that promise you, and it would help you to understand, define, and implement your personal branding. So what we're talking about today, yes, you can find it online, and that's why we're also adding this content to help you to find it. All right. Not bad for a term that wasn't even used a few decades ago. And with the invention of the internet and its focus on self disclosure, personal branding has really become a major player on the landscape of CEO effectiveness, executive leadership, entrepreneurial and startup success, and career planning. All right. So from CEO to secretary or to, employees, the message is clear. If you don't define your personal brand, someone else will define it for you. All right. So we've gotten that out of the way. The process of personal branding involves finding your uniqueness. That is key. Finding your uniqueness, building a reputation on the things that you want to be known for, and then allowing yourself to be known for them. Ultimately, the goal is to create something that conveys a message and that can be monetized. Remember, it's all about, putting yourself in that position where you can attract, your ideal clients. All right. Now, a little bit about my personal brand. All right. So, my personal brand, like I said, I became very intentional after I visited Google. I became very intentional about what was out there. And these were the three pillars that I used. First, be visible. Make sure that you have the right kind of photo, video, because of course, online there are several ways that people will know about you, but it wouldn't be personal. So the visual representation of yourself comes through photography, creative photo, and video, like we're doing now, video. The second in our pillar is to be heard. Share your story. So we talk about the things that we know, the things that we want you to know about us. We share several things. We share our thoughts, our actions, what the things that we're doing, our strategies, our plans, things like that. We share our story, our why we exist, why we're here, the things that we're trying to achieve, our purpose, etc. Now, the third in that pillar is to be known. Share your value. All right. Now, you need to share your value. Don't just focus on trends. Don't make things about fashion. Own you, but you decide what you are. You know, what you would like to express. By the way, you can express that by how you dress, how you live, the things you say, etc. All right, let's move along quickly. Now, the key thing. What is the key thing in all these things that I've said? Be intentional. That is the major crux of this matter. The major crux of personal branding is not the fact that your pictures are not already online, that your face is not, or no, that's not the point. Be intentional about what is there. Be intentional. Discover who you are and why you do what you do. Then determine how you want people to experience that. All right, be intentional. That is what is key. Now, the secret's out. I have given you the secrets already. Personal branding is valuable for professionals who want to improve their influence for more chances of success. I hope you got that already. All right. So now we talked about, even if you're an introvert. So if you are an introvert and you're listening to me and you're wondering, okay, how do I really do this? I don't like to be out there. Like I said, I am a realigned introvert in terms of um, so the key thing here is, if you are an introvert, all right, oh sorry, but if you are introverted professional, this can be such a struggle. I know that sweaty palms, heart beating fast, and all too familiar. Come on, even when I come online, I'm like, oh, but yes, for introverted professionals, as they try to make their presence to be felt. Now, even if you're conventional as well, but you've got the passion and the skills, all right. But the mere thought of promoting yourself or connecting with people sends you chills down your spine. I know that. But if you're going to stay in your comfort zone forever, you will never live your best life. You will never really make the impact that you want to make. Trust me when I say that you can move past it. And that's because I am an example of an introvert who can move past it, and I've moved past it. So all you need to do is the will to improve and be consistent with your practice. All right. So show your products. Limiting beliefs. The first thing I want to squash is limiting beliefs, because I know that when you believe something, when you believe something, you turn to take action when you have clarity and when you have self-confidence, because you believe in that thing. All right. But if you don't believe, if you have limiting beliefs or belief systems that are wrong, it's one of the things that is probably holding you back and stopping you. So the first limiting belief that I'm going to squash today is, people say show your product, not yourself. All right. It's not about you, it's about the product. Oh yes. Well, people buy from people, they don't buy from the tree trunk. Let me put it that way. People buy from people, and they build trust based on the people that they're working with. All right. So when they build trust on you, they buy from you. That is probably sometimes the only reason why somebody's buying your product, because they love the way you smile, or the way you make them feel, or the way, etc. Exactly. Now you might say, what of the bigger companies? Yeah, they're showcasing they're showcasing not themselves, but they're showcasing more of the product. But you're wrong, because these big companies always tell you the stories of their founders. Their founders are dead and gone, but till today we know the story of Kentucky Fried Chicken. We know the story of Coca-Cola. We know the story of Disney. We know all this founder story. And why are they telling you the story? So that they can connect, they can connect you to his vision, to his why, to his essence, and why the business has succeeded and stayed till today. Now you're still alive. We don't have to tell your story in passive. You can tell your story yourself. Now I will go quickly to the next one. Is personal branding is relatively a new phenomenon. Yes, I told you the story about Tom Peters, who brought the idea, deliberately creating a personal brand into a foreground of business and career planning. It's actually been with us for hundreds of years. Think about Napoleon Bonaparte, yes, Winston Churchill, Charlie Chaplin. I mean, these are real old folks, all right, but they were visible, and that's why you know their story. All right. Now, another one is that it is not for every brand, and well, it's for some brand, maybe for service brands like us, or not for product brands. And this cannot be far from the truth. People are telling you, or rather you're telling yourself, that not every brand needs this, but every brand definitely needs top of mind recall for their brand and products. All right, every brand needs this. Before the internet and social media, the mediums for this were so expensive, so you were not able to do it. And that's why it seems like it's only the big brands that need this. But today, at the advent of the internet, hmm, you have the opportunity. So why not? Why can't you use it? All right, let's keep going. Other limiting beliefs. Now, another key limiting beliefs, and I'm giving you all these limiting beliefs because I really want you to think about what is holding you back right now. And it could be any one of these limiting beliefs. And if I can help you out by giving you the reasons why these are limiting beliefs and you should change, then we're great. If that's even all that you take from here. Now, the next limiting belief is your personal brand is all about you. Oh my goodness, that cannot be so far from the truth, because I know that this here is one of the beliefs that has kept me before, and some of you still not going after your best selves and making an impact. I'm often pulled aside by executives and who say in a hushed, they tell you in a hushed tone, I understand the value of personal branding, but I don't want to be seen as a braggart or a egomaniac. As while a powerful personal brand can certainly be a career booster, its impact isn't limited to your professional advancement. All right, people benefit people benefit from a leader who has a positive personal brand. Research has actually shown, this was done by Barna Group, which reported that 91% of employees who work for good leaders, and good leaders were determined by their personal brand, how much information was out there for them to know. Good leaders say they enjoy going to work each day. 8% say their work makes a positive difference in the world, and 79% say that they feel empowered to be a good leader at work. All right. Now, the next one is your personal brand is at odds with your business brand. Yes, this can be really confusing because I have a personal brand and I have a business, Okma Consult, and many other businesses that we work with. And this at first was very confusing for me. How am I going to, how is it that there's a brand, there's myself, etc. I don't want you to be seen as competing with your business or your brand. All right. It's a refrain, or rather, I often hear from CEOs, like I just said, and executives when I bring up the topic of crafting your strong personal brand, and especially done right. All right, but creating a parallel CEO or executive brand in concert with your company brand can double your business brand. All right, exposure and even be a moral booster for your staff. All right. Now think about Steve Jobs. Think about Tony Zai from Zappos. I mean, when you think about these people, you know them. You know Steve Jobs, and you talk about Steve Jobs a lot. But you also do talk about limiting belief. A personal brand is nice but unnecessary. All right. Now that is, oof, my goodness. If your plan, if you plan, sorry, if your plan is to weigh out this personal branding trend until it passes on, think again, because in reality, it's been with us for a really long time, for centuries. And whether you realize it or not, you are already a personal brand, even if it's an unwritten, unwritten one, as stated by Jeff Bezos famously, which I quoted earlier, because your brand is what people say about you when you are not in the room. So you're constantly a walking, talking personal brand. In a world where access to information on any individual is just a few clicks away, clarifying and managing your personal brand is an evergreen business skill right now. So do a little exercise, Google your name, like I said, and if you don't like what you see, then tell your own story. You can tell your own authentic story. All right. Now, your reputation is your personal brand. That's another false or another limiting mindset. All right, because popular wisdom goes something like this: it's not what you say, it's not what you say your personal brand is, it's what other people say it is. Well, while that is true in some ways, what you are known for among your closest colleagues, friends, and family, in other words, your reputation, won't necessarily be the brand you have online, vis-a-vis as well, vice versa as well. And the reason why I say that is, let me just give you an example. So, example, if you're, say, a footballer, but you really love to play music at home, and your friends and family really know you as an entertainer, but your personal brand is more about football. So you see, your reputation with your friends, family, and colleagues is not necessarily what is out there or what you want people to focus on. You want people to focus on your personal brand as a footballer. So you see what I mean? So it's not, you can be very strategic about that. All right. So you don't have to be an extrovert, or you don't have to be any superstar to have a good personal brand. All right. Guys, you don't really need all that. Your personal brand is your unique story. It's all about self promotion and not about advertising yourself to stand out. So now let's look and start to begin the journey of finding your personal brand. All right, of knowing what it is, whether you are an introvert or not. Like I said, let's start that journey. Okay, guys. First, let's focus on. I just give you quickly 10 things. Really try to make this really quick. 10 things that you can do for your brand. First, focus on improving your qualification. A big part of your personal brand is the contributions that you can bring to the table, your value. And these are your skills, expertise, and experience. So you have something to offer. Use your quiet time, use your off time from work or whatever it is, use your time to upskill your qualifications. All right. The more you are confident about your skills, the more confident you become, and then you would easily want to showcase yourself. Now let's go to the next one. Create a personal, sorry, a professional persona. All right. Your professional persona is your personal branding in the workplace. That is what your professional persona is. It refers, or in the business community, it refers to the way that you conduct yourself publicly in business settings and the image you project to co-workers, to employers, business community, prospects, etc., and colleagues. Far from contrived or inauthentic, it's simply the polished up way that you present yourself professionally. So it's far from inauthentic, not being authentic at all. Think of your character in moments where you are starting to feel anxious. Draw confidence and inspiration from your persona. All right. The next thing is build your brand identity. Your brand identity is uniquely yours. It's all of your essential elements as a professional put together into one unique concept. All right. It's what you want to be known as. So do some research and reflecting. A strong brand identity is something that you would be proud of. All right. It should incorporate your goals, values, and personalities. The core value, our core value is called REIGN, REIGN, and it stands for resilient, excellent, innovative, global, God focused, and nurturing. So those are the core values that we have imbibed in our community, in our office, in our work ethics, and that is what we have created as our personal brand identity. All right, so I'm just going to give you, I said I was going to give you 10 reasons, but we can continue this tomorrow. All right, I just got word from my production. We have to kind of cut it right now, but we'll just give you the fourth one. Join me tomorrow as we, talk more about personal branding. I'm going to be showing you the ways, the how, going on a limb and without really being overwhelmed about it. Like simple tricks that you can, tips and tools that you can use personally. So that I'll talk about tomorrow. But let me just give you the fourth one. Forge meaningful relationship. This is so important. Develop meaningful relationships one at a time and start interacting with people who bring out the best in you. And before you know it, you'll be comfortable enough to speak with more people, making your personal brand more visible. Like I said in one of our videos before, I said, I literally I told myself, I gave myself a goal of making 3 new friends every day. 3 new friends, whether offline or online, wherever, but 3 new connections every day at a minimum. So sometimes I even meet more people. And with the internet, you can meet as many people as you want. And these relationships are valuable relationships where I am giving value and I'm also receiving value from them. All right. So when you meaningful relationship, it helps your personal branding, it helps for visibility, and you can also get feedback about your personal branding from these new connections because they're seeing you with fresh eyes, fresh glasses, not like your colleagues or your friends who already have a reputation that they are used to. So the branding that you want, or the type of what you want to communicate, what your story, your focus, what you want to be known for. If you're carving it out, these people can also, this meaningful and really new relationships can help you to give you feedback on how that is going. Friday, it will be amazing. I have someone in. Her name is Ida. We're going to be putting the ads out on that. Thank you so much. We love you. Take care.